This is the quick stitch of the goose. It's actually a goose that I did. It's done on a piece of salvage
Okay, let's see. I have. Okay. Hello. This is Campbell, and you have reached my channel, which is Stitch Therapy. I should just start again. Hi, I'm Campbell, and this is Stitch Therapy. Welcome. I was just trying to get myself in order here to find out what I have to show you. There's just a whole bunch of stuff. I've rearranged a little bit, as you can tell. I've moved my desk to a different wall. And the reason I primarily did this is because I want to stitch and watch TV. And the way I had it constructed, I talk good today. The way I had my setup up here was that my seat was too close to the screen, and so I was stitching and sort of, my nose was right up the screen. So anyway. Hi. So let's see. Thank you to the new subscribers. Hello, new subscribers. I'm so glad you're here. Old subscribers doesn't mean you're old. It just means you've been with me for a while. Thank you for being here. And those of you who have been on the journey since the very beginning, hi. Welcome, friends. I am so grateful that you guys are here today. If you just dropped in to this channel and you have no idea what happened and how did I even click on this person and I've never heard of them before, welcome. So I am a therapist by trade and a stitch enthusiast, well, cross-stitch addict by nature. And so I do all things sort of stitchy, thrifting, and fun, and just random topics. I like to research things, I like to Google things, and I like to buy lots and lots of patterns. So have fun, get a cup of tea, get some stitching, hang out. I'll tell you what I've got going on today. I did some Googling about, I always like to look into the research around stitching because it is true. And there is an article that I found from one of the British Google articles that I found. I think I told you last time I Google in different countries. So I Googled therapeutic benefits of crafting, stitching, and I came up with an article that was updated 29th of November 2023. Some of the research I had done before on this channel was from 2010 was the latest I had been able to find. Still good solid research though. There are this says 4 ways crafting is good for your health. Can you relate? Research has proven its benefits, and this is by Michelle Jameson and Rosie Stagg, and it talks about repetitive crafts have a therapeutic effect. And it says sitting down and getting stuck into a new creative project can help us feel refreshed and encourage us to unwind. Well, duh, we know that. It talks about a research done by Tufts, and it says research indicates that repetitive movements of crocheting that prompt the mind to relax, the heart rate to decrease, and blood pressure to fall, and stress levels drop. So that was one research. It also talked about 500 British women that were in a study, and it help them with anxiety, depression, and stress. Yes. Simply by the repetitive movement of the stitching. The Royal College of Occupational Therapists did a study, and they did a data consisting of 3,545 knitting and stitching enthusiasts, and they concluded that knitting, i.e. stitching, has significant psychological and social benefits which can contribute to well-being and quality of life. Isn't that nice to know? Hey guys, stop. Sorry. I should explain. I have 2 dogs in the background. Taki and Tinker. So what happened 2 weeks ago was Taki got out of his crate while I was at work, and they had a fight over a bone. And Taki grabbed Tinker's ear to rip her away from the bone. And so I came home and Tinker's ear was bleeding. And so, I've been playing nursemaid with Tinker's ear. And Taki, of course, now feels bad. So he wants to lick her ear and lick. So he's following her around. This has been going on for a week. And I think it also has a lot to do with the fact that we don't have Smudge with us anymore. Those of you who knew my cat Smudge and hadn't heard this news, I'm sorry to tell you she passed away. It was about 4 weeks ago when I posted that she had passed away. I did a post about it on my last video. So yeah, so now the dynamic in the house has changed a bit. So their relationship is a little different. So anyway, Taki is trying to lick her ear and sort of play nursemaid, and Tinker's having none of it because she's like, you're the one who bit my ear, dude, get away from me. So that's, if you hear something in the background, that's what's happening. Anyway, they're fine. They're good. They sleep, on the bed with me, and they're wonderful. They're just, it was one of those things. Mommy was at work. Taki got out of his crate, and there was a bone to be had. What are you going to do? Anyway, back to our research. The second part of this says craft projects boost our self-esteem. So this is a research project that was done by Country Living. No, this is actually an article. Country Living and Dragon's Den star and owner of Crafter's Companion, Sarah Davies, shared that you don't have to be an expert to craft. You don't have to be an artist. I can't draw for toffee. I would never consider myself artistic, but I love being in the moment when I'm doing a craft, and I love how I feel when I've made something. So she talks about that, and then this article talks about other authors, a British clinician and founder of Stitch Links. Her craft-based organization promotes therapeutic knitting and cross-stitching through the research it conducts. Along the teaching of these skills, it also helps people set up their groups at schools, hospitals, and workplaces. England sounds like a really cool place for cross-stitch. For those of you from England watching, let me know. Have you heard of Stitch Links? Do you know anything about it? Sounds good to me. The benefits of learning a new skill can be felt immediately. The feel-good factor, the sense of excitement and achievement on mastering a new task, particularly a challenging one, is fantastic and is a tremendous boost to the self-esteem and confidence. So I was researching also this past couple of weeks about the difference between serotonin and dopamine. And serotonin is the chemistry in our brain when we do something self-esteem wise that makes us feel good, and dopamine is the chemistry in our brain that helps us get things done. It's the ooh, shiny object, I want to do that. So we kit something up and we get a dopamine boost, right? So hence why so many people have so many starts, because they get this big rush of dopamine. The serotonin is, as you're stitching, you're like, this feels good. That's serotonin. So so that was a fun way to bridge the article of my brain chemistry that I was researching for my job, and this research that I looked up. Crafting improves our memory and concentration skills. Yeah, so if you've got ADHD and you're stitching along, well done you. Recently, there have been more and more studies researching the healing benefits of slow craft forms, including knitting and cross-stitching. The practice of knitting and cross-stitching is similar to that of piano playing. Both activities require you to use both hands to make different moves. I guess they mean with knitting this thing, and then with cross-stitching, if you do two, I do anyway. This stimulates and coordinates movements on both sides of the brain, so right and left hemisphere of the brain. Nice. Knitting also holds similar benefits to doing complex crossword puzzles or Sudoku. Ah, nice. Regular practice improves concentration, pattern recognition, and memory. You know how you get up through a pattern and after a while you can just go, oh, that's 505. I remember when I was doing Eden, there were certain symbols that I just knew, oh, that's 505. I didn't even have to look at it. I just knew. I knew the symbol was that color. And it's weird how that happens after about 35 pages in a pattern. Yeah, it happens. Craft clubs can help us beat feelings of loneliness. Now, isn't this a huge one for all of us? In this world of, you know, everybody being divided with ideology and politics and religion, whatever it is that we divide ourselves, human beings and their egos, it's really nice to come together over something as simple as cross stitch or knitting or crafting, and being able to go, yeah, I don't care what you're about, it's fine. Let's just show each other's patterns and have a little bit of a serotonin kick. I think the bonding gene, serotonin is also used for relationship bonding and building. So as is oxytocin with our direct family members, that love gene when we hold a child or something, or when we're with our pets, that oxytocin boost. And when we get to know people through stitching, I have a Friday night stitch group that when one person is missing, I miss them, you know, Sarah. Anyway, she's been on retreats and doing lots of stuff. Plus, sweet little Abby is feeling, I hope Abby's feeling better. We missed you on Friday. Anyway, right, so there's something in England called the Campaign to End Loneliness. And this group reported that a huge 45% of adults in England feel lonely occasionally, sometimes, or often. Okay, this equates to about 25 million people. Research shows that loneliness not only puts individuals at greater risk of cognitive decline and dementia, but also increases the risk of high blood pressure, disease, and stroke. However, crafting can provide a brilliant opportunity to socialize and meet new people, whether you join a pottery course or attend a sewing class. Studies have shown that social prescribing, where a person is referred to activities that improve health and well-being, helps to connect communities and improve quality of life. Like, it feels like a no-brainer to us cross-stitchers because we're so good at doing floss tubes and getting people together, and here we are doing all of this together online. And I just feel like even though, you know, my channel may not be anything big, it's really nice to see people logging in and saying hello. I love it when people leave comments because I'm like, oh, hi. It's just really nice. And then hopefully we get to be a community together. And if you don't have a Friday night stitch group on Zoom, why don't you start one? Or maybe you have a friend in your town or in your area or a library nearby, and maybe you could suggest, hey, could I teach a quick cross stitch group or something? Maybe you could get sponsorship at a library to be able to do a group. I don't know. I know here in Waynesboro, Virginia, we have all kinds of crafting groups at our Waynesboro library. So I just think anything that we can do as people in our community. There's so many retirees I know that don't have really anything, you know? So can we go to a nursing home and start a stitching group with them? I don't know. Maybe it's something to think about. Also teens and stuff. I have a bunch of teens in my therapeutic practice that I've turned on to cross stitch. So I give out little mini patterns to people all the time. I go and buy them in bulk and give them out to people. Those mini like dimensions kits and stuff. I know, starting somebody on a dimensions kit, but they're the small ones. Anyway, so that's crafting improves, memory, concentration, beats loneliness, repetitive crafts, therapeutic effect of repetitive crafts, and boosts our self-esteem. I mean, what's not to love about cross-stitch and crafting and knitting and sewing and the community that builds around us? So I wanted to give you that research right off the bat. Okay. That's that done. Sorry, I'm going to stop talking and I'm going to start showing more. What should I do next? I have a whole bunch of things to do. I have whips. I have new things that came in the mail. I have some books I wanted to share and just to show you what I bought. And then I have some thrift store finds. I guess I could start with whips. What do you think? So I talked about the Van Gogh coffee cup. That picture is, the picture of what it is right here. This is a Chinese pattern. I don't even know the company. It's just, I found it online. I don't have an artist name. They don't really tell you anything. Like, it's in Chinese. It's like the name of the person is probably that. I don't know. It's in Chinese. I don't know the name of the person who designed this. I don't know if they ripped it off from somebody. I don't know. Anyway, I did this. I started this. It's on a print. It's on one of these printed. And so I've gotten a little bit farther with this. You can see I've finished. It's starting to take shape, the blues and stuff. I don't know if I can show you that, get that in there. So this, I'm a little verklempt by this, actually. So if you notice the picture, right? The picture and all of the beautiful gradation of blues. I mean, I don't know what I'm expecting, right? I mean, what am I expecting? It's a print, right? It's a printed canvas. But see the blues up here? How nice those blues are. They're so pretty and swishy, right? And then I finished that section and it's not as pretty and swishy. I guess it is, maybe. Maybe it is. I don't know. What do you think? Is it okay? I don't know. So I sort of put this down for a while after I got that much done, and I decided I would take a little mini break. This is my office stitch. When I have when I have like a cancellation or somebody doesn't show for a session, I pull out a little bit of stitching, and I do a couple threads on that. Anyway, I just thought I'd show you the update on that one. I also have some big news with the temperature chart. So this is a PDF pattern temperature chart. It's called Tangleware, and I bought it on Etsy. And so I'm just going to put something behind it to try and make it a little bit more so that you can see the colors. I got up to the end of March. So you can see we're moving through January, February. Those are the colder days, and then now we're moving into March, which has some of the yellows are starting to be introduced in March. Some of the warmer days. Yay! So yeah, so now I'm only June, July, March, April, May. No, March, April, May, June, July. Gosh, I'm only 4 months behind now. Instead of 5. Okay. So yeah. Actually, once I got going on that, once I started stitching, it went pretty quickly. So that wasn't bad. I do have a finish, which those of you who follow me on Instagram, my Instagram is Eccles2824. And this is a picture of, this is Spooky Creations from Just Cross Stitch Halloween Edition 2023 or 2024. I can't remember. Anyway, it's this. It's called Sugar Skull Cat, and it's by Perry A. Hattie of Stitchoria. And it was in a Just Cross Stitch magazine. I think several people have done this pattern, but I recently finished it. It's not a full finish, but it is finished. Yay! There's the kitty. So I'll get you a little bit up here close. So the head has beads in the ear instead of French knots. I chose to do beads. I don't know if you can see them. I'm trying to get the light. There it is. So there are beads in the ears. There's lots of really fun back stitching on this. I mean, it just really pops as you stitch it. I'm not great with my camera, those of you who know me. So yeah, so this is all the way down. all the back stitching. And there's a couple different colors of blue in there, and all the gradations for the bones. Oh, it was so much fun. I decided to do the outline of the pattern of the cat. I decided to do it in, let me see that. Yay! Kitty, kitty, kitty. Kitty, kitty, kitty. I decided to do it, the back stitch around the body in black. In this picture, they have it in white. I chose black because I just thought it worked better with the blue. So, yeah. So, I don't know what I'm going to do with that. I'm thinking maybe I'm going to do a pillow with some cool edging on it. I have to talk to my friend Karen, who is the finishing queen of our stitch group, and find out how I should finish it. So Karen, you'll be getting a call. Progress on other whips. I did do more on soul and intellect, so I'm going to pause here and I'll get that for you. Okay, whew. You should see my desk. It's covered in like whips and projects. It's terrible. I don't want to show you, but anyway. So this is soul and intellect. I think I showed, I put this up last time, so I wanted to give you a little bit more of a close-up. Let me just see if I can turn the camera this way. I love the bird in her hand and everything. So I am just doing this top corner right now, where the bubbles are on here. This is by Character Creations, art by Jessica Palmer, charted for cross stitch under the license of Carrie Blackwell. And it's from Auckland, New Zealand. And I don't know what year this is. I could probably find the year for you. Copyright year is, I don't know. But anyway, I'm stitching it on 22 count Lugana. And this is my progress so far with that corner. So you can see I finished one of the bubbles and I'm now working on the lower bubble. So, and it's 22 count, like I said. One of the things I'm noticing about stitching on 22 count as opposed to 18, which is my jam, is that it goes, well, slower, yeah. And I'm not used to, with the even weave, you know, 1, 2, down, 1, 2, down. It's sort of even weave, I feel like, is a medium between Aida and full linen. So you're still going over 2 and over 2, but it's more even, and well, hence even weave, duh. Anyway, it's kind of good practice for when I get into working on samplers, which I'm going to tell you about which ones I've chosen to do for the tea dye. Hi, Future Campbell. During the editing process, I realized that I did not show you which patterns were voted on the most. So the 2 that I'm going to do for the tea dye fabric that you saw last video, overwhelmingly people said to do Karen Kluba, the Wren's Nest sampler. So yes, I will do this. I will. The other one that was a very close second was this one. This is the Stewart Band sampler. Now, this one I'm going to do after I do this one because I read through this Stewart Band sampler and there are a lot of different stitches in here. The back should show you all those different stitches. So there's the vertical satin stitch. Okay, I think I could probably wing that. The eyelet stitch, Okay. But then there's a rice stitch, a Smyrna stitch, a herringbone stitch. Oy, 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 oy. And then inside there, each section has road stitch large, Pagello section. I mean, it's each one of the bands is actually a new style of is a new learning curve for me. So yeah, I will get to this, but first we're going to do the Wren's Nest sampler because that seems like I can get this done this year, maybe next year for this, but they will both be on the tea-dye, and so stay tuned for that. Thank you for letting me interrupt, and I will now return you to your regularly stationed me in the past. I'll do that later. But anyway, so it's been really interesting, and it's been a wonderful, I like the stitch. It's going really slowly, but I really like the way it looks, and I like the way it feels when I'm stitching it. It does slow me down a lot. Yeah, I like it a lot. The next one that I have progress on, that's a big one, is I started Steampunk Cat Daddy. So this is the picture of Steampunk. Those of you who are familiar, this is a Heaven and Earth design. And I am doing it on, this is Heaven and Earth, designed by Jeff, is it Haney? Am I saying his name right? I want to make sure. Anyway, this is Steampunk, and I saw somebody recently finish this online in the Full Coverage Fanatics cross stitch group on Facebook, and it looked wonderful. And so it took me a while to figure out what fabric I wanted to do mine on, and I ended up dyeing my own 18 count Ada to do it. And this is my progress so far. So right there is just the little itty bitty corner start. Let's see if I can move it up here so you can see it. Oh, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on, come on. There you go. So there are a lot of different, even just that little bit, there's so many colors in there. There must be 15 different colors in there, and it's just the beginning right there. And it's just wonderful. I'm really, really, really enjoying it, and I think the dyed fabric is going to be so much fun to stitch on. I think it'll be really nice as the background of this. So the picture is black in the background, but there's no black edge on it. And the person who stitched it in the stitch group online in Facebook, he actually filled in the edge, the square with the black 310. I decided not to do that. I wanted to go ahead and take a risk and do my own dye, which I talked about last time in the video. So anyway, so there's that whip. Wacky Girl, I will put a picture here. And this I got on Etsy. This pattern is also being done on 18 count. 18 count, and this is as far as I've gotten with her. So a little bit more progress with this. So some more flowers in the hair, and I've gone all the way up to the top with some of the strands. I like this one. That one's fun. I like that one. So those are my whip progresses. I think that's all my progresses. My goodness, that's enough, don't you think? Wow. It looks like something exploded on my desk. I went thrifting. I found some fun things at the thrift shop. One of them that I found was this, but I don't want to, I think it's not, let's see. I found wooden cross stitch. They're several in a pack, but they're butterflies. Aren't they cute? I like them a lot. I don't know what pattern I'm going to do with them, but I thought they were really cool, and I found them at a thrift shop for like $2, so I thought, okay, I'll get those. I also found for 25 cents a piece, I know, right? Like, I found zippers. Look how long they are. This one is 22. Let's see. Zipper, 20 inch. This is a 20 inch. So I'm thinking a project bag, right? Like, I'm thinking project bags are in my future, because look, that would cover a bag that this would go in if I did a bag for that. Right? 20 inch, 25 cents. So I got 1, 2, I got a bunch of 20 inches. And then there was one that was 25 inches. Whoa, for large bag. So I'm looking forward to investigating, because I have fabrics, and I have talked about making project bags, and I've looked at YouTube videos about making project bags, and it doesn't seem terribly hard. It just seems like it requires me to get focused and just sit down and use the sewing machine that is on my desk right here, and just to be able to get it done, right? So I think that's going to be something that will be summer fun this summer. I also found, at the thrift shop also, they had a box that was very reminiscent of something I used to buy every year. Do you guys remember these? The Stitch a Day calendars. So I found this at, I can't remember which thrift shop, but it was $5. And it was wrapped in plastic. And when I got it home, I opened it, and it was brand new. It had never been opened. So I looked, and if you've never seen one of these Stitch a Day calendars, I'll show you how it goes. So you open it up, and each day has a piece of paper. has an individual piece of paper. There you go. So each day has a cross stitch pattern on it. And you can cross stitch it. And I used to have these. My mom bought me my first one, I don't know, back in 90 something. And then I started buying my own, and then they stopped making them. And so when I saw this in the thrift shop, I was like, are you kidding me? Oh no, these are great. So I went on Etsy, and you can find, I saw one that was 2007 was on Etsy. No, I think it was on eBay. Sorry, eBay has these. And yeah, maybe just like, that's all where I saw it, I think. But you can find different years, 2007, 2009. But this was the one I found, and I couldn't believe it. It was brand new. Every single day of the year, they're 360 little individual patterns. They're so much fun. And on the back of every piece of paper that you get, like every day, there's the pattern is right there with all of the, all of the thread counts and everything that you need. It's really fun. So that was the other thing that I found. I found some patterns. Let's see. It was an interesting deep dive. It was an interesting dive into this thrift store, because the patterns that I got are ones that I normally wouldn't even buy, but they were just 25 cents each, so I just went ahead and got them. This one was, this is a Leisure Arts. It's a love pattern. What I really like is that it's got the whole alphabet. Oh. It's got the whole alphabet with these very beautiful ornate letterings on them. And I really, really like them. So that was really nice. It was basically like getting another alphabet leaflet. That was fun. And then this one was called Country Patchwork. This was fun. Ah, there you go. And those are the patterns, but of course you can separate them out or you can put them, and the little wider squares is all back stitch. So they talk about different stitches you can do in this pattern. They talk about doing a back stitch or doing a herringbone stitch, which would be kind of cool, I think, also. Yeah, so I think that's really sweet. The other thing I found was some cutout books. These were cool. Seashore cuttings. They're large pieces that have cutouts. And what the cutouts do is they're three-dimensionals. And I don't know if you guys remember my die cut video where I opened the die cut box, but I thought these were really cool. It's sort of hand die cut, but I thought those were really interesting. So it had some cutout things, and I assume that I can use these over and over and over again as stencils to be able to, I mean, I assume that's what these are, that they're sort of stencils that you cut them out and use them. I'll have to read and figure out how to use these, but they look really cool. And of course there's instructions in the back and the materials needed, matte knife, extra blades, all of that. Yeah, snipping and so I guess this is stenciling and using different pieces. I just thought they were really cool. I love seashells too. I love seashells. And the pelican, it's great. And then along with it was this paper for cutouts. It's a special kind of paper that has different colors in it. It's just a little book of, it's two-sided paper, which is sometimes if you go to Michael's, they have the paper, the thick papers for craft cutting, but it only has one side of it, and the other side is just white. This is both sides is the same color. So both sides is each one of these colors, which I thought was really cool. So I'll see. That was that. And the other one that I got for cutouts was a holiday collection cutout book that has the patterns inside for making chains of different ornaments or three-dimensional paper crafts. And these, it looks like what you do is, let me see if I can find a better design than that, because something that's simpler you can see. So the squirrels, for instance, it looks like I would cut everything around except where the dotted line is, and I think those are on the fold, from what I understand. Having never tried this yet, I have to try, but I think that's where it is. It's on the fold. So yeah, so I'll give those a try and see how those go. And the other one that I got that was the same cutout stenciling style was the Halloween one. And these looked very fun to try and do with some paper craft. So, also in the box at the bottom were 3 making faces for dolls. And I'm not much of an artist, but I thought, you know, I could try. I did start making a stuffed doll at one point. I made a batik fabric, and I'll have to show that to you someday. I had a batik fabric, and I stuffed the arms, and I stuffed the legs, and I never got the body made. I was in the middle of making the body, and then I got to the head, and I thought, oh, I don't know how to draw a face for the head, so I never got it done. But this little book shows you how. So I thought, well, I could do that. So this is one of the books. Has different expressions for all through the pages. Just have fun. So that's that one. And then there's this one that has cartoon faces in it. More making faces. So different expressions that I can practice and see if I can do. I mean, worst case scenario, I figure I can put these on, Xerox these onto one of those pieces of like sticky paper that you can iron it onto the fabric. I could do it on iron-on fabric paper, and then I can just trace the face. So I figure I could do that too. And then there's also a book about how to do doll hair, like how to do the different kinds of doll hair. Swirly hair, where to sew it on the doll's head, how to sew it and how to put it in place. Yeah, so these are things that I started, crafts that I started a while ago that I haven't gone back to because they just seemed like a bridge too far. They seemed like they were really hard for me, and I just thought, oh, I can't do it, I can't do it. But I like them. I like the idea. I have 2 books that I got in the mail that I wanted to show you. One of them is cross stitch patterns from Belgium. And it is this one. This is such a beautiful little book. And one of the things that I love about this book, and I will try and cover this up here. Oops, no, can't cover it up with that. There we go, I'll cover it up with this. Is just the delicacy of the flower patterns. I really, really, really like it. And there's also little vignette motifs. That's people. Oh, those are sweet. And I actually had an idea. There's a rainy day one. I like this one. I like that one. Who doesn't love a rainy day? A rainy day with the sunshine coming through. I love that. So that was... Excuse me. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. I am sneezing. So that was a Reinhold craft paperback. It was 1974, and it is published in New York, Van Nostrand Reinhold, yeah. But it's Danish handcraft guide. So these are all Danish flowers. It's really a lovely little book. If you ever find anything like that, I would say just pick it up. It's nice to have in your collection, and you never know how you can use it. You can create your own samplers. The other thing that I got that I was really intrigued by on thrift books was it seemed a little bit out of my realm. I tend to be a full coverage 18 count Ada cross stitcher, right? Like I don't do anything sampley yet. However, I read a lot about samplers, and I follow people on YouTube that do samplers. And I'm fascinated by samplers. So I got this book, this very hefty tome. So this is Veronique Millard, Vintage French Needlework, 300 Authentic Cross-Stitch Patterns, Flowers, Borders, Alphabets from Antique Textiles. And it is a hefty tome. I mean, you could lift weights with this. Seriously, you could just like build some muscle. Hundreds of patterns digitally transcribed, and they're all made clear. Includes most outstanding designs from the 1800s and 1900s. Cross-stitch publishing in France. They give the name of several designers. And you know, it's interesting because there are people that are doing patterns online, and they're they're doing these very samplers, and they're buying the samplers, and I bought the whole book, and it's sort of like you can just design your own. So all of these like everything that people are making samplers out of, or the samplers that people are reproducing and stuff, it seems to me like the patterns are all right here. They're blocked out in all of the different letters with all the different styles of letters, like hundreds and hundreds of different styles of letters. One of the things I did was I marked all the different E's. There's a picture of a sampler with all the different E's, and my last name is Eccles. And I thought, well, maybe I'd like to do this. Isn't that gorgeous? So all of those different kind of styled E's on one sampler. And then I started going through my pattern collection, because I had some stray patterns sitting around and I was putting them away, and I found out that I have a duplicate of a Butternut Road that has some of these same styled font samplers in them. And this is it's called New Wings A from 1990, Butternut Road collection. And this is that pattern. And these same, sorry, let me see if I can get that to focus. These same letterings, I'm sorry, it's not focusing. Trying to get it to focus, there we go. These same letters are in this book, without the butterfly, of course. I mean, there's a monarch on that one, so you can see there's a monarch there. And it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. I don't know how to get this to go here. Hang on. All right, maybe I can get this camera to focus in here. There we go. So there is that one and that one. So there's two in this. So I have two of these. If you would like this, in the comments below, I'll do a drawing. In the comments below, put butterfly or squash. Butterfly or squash, right? Butterfly or squash for butternut, right? Butternut squash, ha ha ha. Anyway, because I do have two of these, and I'd love to be able to give this to somebody in a drawing if they would like it. And I know I don't have very many people that watch me weekly, and I don't have very many people that actually, you know, leave a comment. So chances are, if you see this and you want this and you put something in the comments that says squash or butterfly, chances are you have a really good chance of winning this, because I don't have hundreds of people asking for, when I do drawings, there are many times I offer drawings and nobody wants them at all. So that's, but I would love to send this out. Now, please, you must be 18 or older to leave a comment. And also, please don't use the word giveaway so that I don't get trolls. And other than that, this is for you if you would like it. And I will mail it out to you. I'll do a drawing, and then I'll let you guys know who wins the next time I do a floss tube. I'll try to do one in 2 weeks. So you have 2 weeks from today to be able to have a drawing for this if you would like this pattern. Okay. Whew, that was a lot. It's kind of a chaotic YouTube this time, guys, but I wanted to touch base because I hadn't seen you in such a long time, and as you can tell, I've been stitching a lot, and I've been just collecting a lot, and I thought I better start sharing some of this stuff, or else I'm going to be so backlogged it'll take me until the next millennia to be able to show everybody everything. If you have any questions for me, feel free to leave them in the comments below, or you can just email me, and my email is campbellcraftstitcher@gmail.com. Feel free to email me any comments, questions, concerns, and other than that, I will look for the word squash and butterfly in your comments, and I'll put all of those names in a box, and then I'll just pull it out randomly, and we'll see who wins, and see who wins or I'll do the YouTube, whatever it is, the YouTube thing that collects the names and then makes the drawing happen. And we'll find out who wins, and then I'll mail that off to you. Thank you very much for spending this time with me. I know it was sort of it feels like I rushed through things, but I didn't want this to be like a 3-hour video. I just wanted to touch base and say hi. I'm going to review this. Maybe I'll refilm this. I don't know. I feel like I was a little crazy tonight. It's a Monday night here in Waynesboro. It's June 30th. And yeah, I'm just trying to touch base because I haven't seen you guys in a while. Taki says it's time to go. He's about ready to bark. And I wish you all the best. If you are stitching, I hope you're happy stitching. And I'll leave you with some meta, as I always do in the end. May you be filled with loving kindness. Taki says, may you be peaceful and at ease. Taki says, may you be filled with joy. Taki says, may you be free of suffering. Taki says, may you be joyfully stitching until we see each other again. There he is. There's the boy. There he is. Peace, you guys. It was great spending time with you. Thanks for checking in. And if you're new here, I hope you like what you saw and you'll come back. If not, have a beautiful stitchy time. And whoever you are, wherever you are, just know that you're loved. Be well and be safe. See you next time.